of this live stream series where I go live daily and talk about meditation and mental health. Let me move this out of the camera. Okay, because nobody needs to know that my pajamas are on my bed. So today's day 19 out of 21 or 28 days of going live every day. So I'm excited. We have like 9 days left. Today I'm going to talk about simple ways that you can improve your mental health. And these are ways that you can improve your mental health like immediately. Who doesn't like immediate results, okay? So these are things that you can do like right now that are simple and also don't take a lot of time to make you feel a difference in between the way your brain was and the way your brain is. And also if you do these things daily, then they can help you hack your brain and happy chemicals, dopamine and everything like that. So yes, if you've been watching this live stream series throughout the month, I've been going live like every single day, and each day I have a different topic around mental health. So if you like this one, then go back and watch the other ones. There's plenty of topics, and this is day 19, so I have 18 other live streams you can go back and watch. So the first way to immediately improve your mental health is to practice random acts of kindness. This one is like high up on my list because I think when you're thankful for what you have, you want to give to other people what you have, and practicing kindness to other people could be like giving someone something that you have that you don't need or that you're not using, or paying for somebody's food or something like that. Something that the other person doesn't expect you to do. And most likely, this is going to be somebody that you don't really know much. And just practicing randomly being kind to people, and also not really looking for an exact response, but just being kind to be kind, it changes something about you. It changes something about like what motivates us to do the things that we do. Because if we do kind things in hopes that we'll get a response, or in hopes that we'll get something back, then maybe it's the wrong intention. But when we do things that other people aren't expecting, that are kind, that we know will help them out, it actually kind of makes you really joyful. And it honestly, when I do it, it makes me forget about the problems that I have in my life. Because it makes the problems in my life feel a lot more small. You know, sometimes you could be the person who, a person that you do something kind to, they could be going through something. They could be praying for a prayer to be answered. And if you follow your heart and just do something kind for that person, you never know what type of prayers you answer for them, or what type of help that you gave them that they were searching for. Even if it's something that's like small to you. Like I said, one time I was in the Chipotle line, and I I had just gotten a I just knew that I wanted to pay for the person behind me. I didn't know him. We didn't even talk to each other when we were in line. I didn't look at him. He was a complete total stranger. And as soon as I got up to the window to pay, I told the lady that I wanted to pay for the guy behind me. I didn't look at him and I didn't tell him I was going to do it. I just paid the lady the extra fee. And then I walked out. And when the guy realized that I paid for him, he followed behind me and was just so adamant on thanking me for paying for his food. And it was something really small. But after that, it sparked up a conversation that he had kids, and he was working his own lawns. He was doing his own lawn service, struggling in his business. And That was something very small that I thought was very small, but ultimately it was something really large that helped him out. But something, because it made me more joyful that day to do something kind for somebody else. It made me more joyful. So doing random things that are kind to other people make you forget about the problems that you have yourself, because we often take for granted like the problems that we have are sometimes smaller than what we make them out to be, and that other people also have problems. Like, and if we live our lives in our own bubble, not thinking about what other people are going through, but only about what we're going through, whatever we're going through is going to seem like a whole lot more of an issue. It's going to seem like a whole lot more of a burden because we feel like we're going through things alone. But when we start to be kind to other people, do things for other people, and acts, especially like random acts of kindness, we'll realize that the kindness that we give to other people will come back on us. Not in a selfish way, but literally in a way that brings us more joy and happiness. So that's the first thing. Practice more random acts of kindness. The second thing is to pray and just pray. I mean, even if you're not religious, I mean, praying is an act of thankfulness as well. You can pray for other people. You can ask God for guidance. And if you have a religion, you already pray, then maybe you could increase your prayer, increase your prayer life. There's a lot of benefits that come out of prayer mentally, and for me, it reminds me that again, people are going through so much more than what we think they're going through. And sometimes our own problems can seem so big in comparison to other people's problems because we don't know other people's problems. So, praying for other people when you see other people who are struggling, or when you feel like you you have family members or friends who are going through things, you don't even have to tell them that you're praying for them. But praying for other people, especially when you are going through something too, is I think one of the biggest acts of kindness too. And you can also pray in you can also pray in the sense of like just being thankful for what you have. And we don't always have to ask for other things or ask for people, other people, or on other people's behalves. We can just pray and be thankful for what we have. Like, thank you, God, for socks on my feet. Thank you for a hat to wear when it's warm. Thank you that I can cook good food and have food on the table, things like that. And that also brings about joy in your heart because you just realize that you have a lot more to be thankful for than what we realize. The third thing, which is a simple way to improve your mental health, is be mindful of your music choices. Drink some water real quick. So yeah, number 3 I have is being mindful of your music choices. I think music impacts your emotions. Music can impact your internal state, internal rhythm, your heart rate. It can, so like, how if you're going out to a party, there's party music. You're not gonna play Janae Aiko. Well, some Janae Aiko songs you can play, but you're not gonna play someone really calm. You're not gonna play like Sade, at a party where you trying to get turned. because Sade is not turned music. On the other hand, if you're trying to feel calm and get ready for bed at night, or you're trying to drive at night and you want to feel calm, you're not going to play DMX because that's hype music. DMX might make you a little angry. And if you don't want to be angry at night right before you go to bed, I don't know if you want to do that. But that just shows how much of an impact music has on us. So be mindful of your music choices, not only the rhythm. See, we can feel the internal rhythm in our bodies of the way that music impacts our bodies without any lyrics having to be said. Just the beat, the cadence, and the even the key of a song can impact our internal rhythm. All those elements together can make us feel angry, happy, sad, because it changes our internal rhythm of what's happening in our bodies without us even thinking about it. However, add lyrics on top of that, and you'll be singing something that you don't really know that you're singing. And those words can oftentimes impact the way that we think about the world. I think I think we should all be more mindful of the music that we listen to, because music is one of the biggest things that has an impact on our emotions. And it's why we listen to music so often, and music is so influential. So, one time for a whole month, I remember doing a cleanse. I was cleansing from a couple things, sort of doing like a fast. But for me, fasts are always spiritual. It's to purge something out of my life that's distracting me or that's worldly, to put God in, to let God just seep into my system more and let the negative things that might be distracting me or impacting me get out. So, maybe I think at the time I was also fasting from sweets, fried food, probably meat and all dairy. Maybe I was doing like some vegan fast, but also I was purging or cleansing, I would say cleansing from music with lyrics, and also watching any type of media, social media, Netflix, Hulu shows, anything like that. So I was doing a cleanse inside and out. At that time, probably about 2 weeks into not listening to any music with lyrics on it in it. So I only listened to jazz instrumentals and chill hop, lo-fi, stuff like that. I realized how much more I could think for myself, because when you're so indulged in the media that you're consuming, we don't realize that our autopilot response to consuming the media that we consume is thinking the same way that the media wants us to think. And there's a lot of sources saying different things or trying to implant subliminally different messages inside of our brains. And it's so subtle, but when I was able to back away from consuming so much media at a time, and specifically music with the lyrics, because I love music, I was finally able to see how much music has control over my brain. And we allow that control to happen. I still love music. I mean, after that fast, of course, I started listening to music with lyrics again, because there are some artists who I feel like really are positively impactful. Their lyrics are impactful, their lyrics are deeper, their lyrics make sense. They're not just saying blah 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 blah, but they're actually saying things that impact me on a larger level. So that's my second point. Just be aware of the music that we listen to, and also in general, be aware of the media that we consume. filter it out as much as possible. If there's people that you follow on social media and maybe once at one time you kind of vibe with their content and the things that they post, but now the things that they post aren't resonating, even if it's someone you know personally, even if it's a friend, if you don't like what they're posting, just unfollow them or block them or whatever you got to do. They don't even have to take it personal. Just if it's your friend, just tell them like, hey, I actually don't like to see the things that you post because I just don't resonate with them. You don't have to tell them, but I think if you have to tell your friend that, they might not be the people you want to hang around anyways. But lately on Instagram, I've been purging my timeline, unfollowing people who I don't want to see anymore on my timeline, spending less time on Instagram, which is personally my most used platform, even more than YouTube. Well, I would say I use YouTube more, but I consume Instagram more because every time I get on the app, I become hyper vigilant of how it's affecting me mentally. I notice it because when I'm not on the app, affected. I'm not as affected mentally. Number three, sorry, we're on number four, is read daily. I struggle with this. I gotta be honest, I don't read daily, but I know that this is something immediately that you can do. Reading is something immediately that you can do anytime during the day, and your mind will immediately be taken to a whole nother world when you read. And I think reading helps with a lot of things. Imagination, and having imagination is good because when I think of imagination, kids have a big imagination because you can kind of be more creative with your thoughts and ideas. And even if you're reading for education and maybe you're reading poetry or, the nonfiction or a bibliography, I think just reading in general does something to your brain that even reading something on a screen doesn't do to your brain. So reading books is one of the main ways that you can immediately start to change your state, focus in, and make your mind more calm. Reading also really helps you fall asleep. And I have tons of books in my bookcase in my room that I haven't read. However, some of those books I have read on Audible, or, if I have a Spotify Premium membership, which I do, I have found those books on Spotify Premium and decided to read them on the audiobook version. Some people tell me that's a cheat sheet, but I don't think so. What do you think? What do you think? Is reading audiobooks a cheat sheet? Comment below. What do you think? I think this is what I think. If you have a long commute in the morning to work and you have a long commute in the evening to work, let's say 30 minutes to an hour, and maybe you use public transportation, it's very loud. Or maybe your long commute is a drive. And by the time you get home, you want to work out or go to the gym or even cook dinner, and you're struggling to find the time in your day to open a book except for in the evening. Except for, when you go to sleep. A good way to get that time in is through reading an audiobook or listening to an audiobook. You're still taking in the same information. It's just in a different format. That's how I see it. So I love audiobooks. I've read a good amount of audiobooks. I read The Power of Now on audio. I read the book Resilient on audio. I read the book something how to not give a fu blah blah blah. How to not give a f. What is that the title? It's something it's something like that, but And I also read the book what's the other book? Anyways, I've read a lot of self-help books and I listened to them on audio instead of reading them because I had time and I was reading. And I was driving for a long time and I decided to read them on audio instead of read them on the physical book. Okay, a bonus to a simple way to improve your mental health is that, oops, sorry, is to get yourself on a routine with everything that you do. Have a morning routine, have an evening routine. Actually, we already have a routine in our day. It's just, is our current routine impactful in the positive way that we want it to be? So, for example, right, we all have a morning routine. Even if your morning routine is get up, go to the toilet, brush your teeth, and leave out the door. Only four things, simple things. You should be brushing your teeth every morning. You should be using the bathroom every morning. So that can be a morning routine. It's just something that you do every single morning. It doesn't have to be something planned. However, my morning routine is to get up. Well, as of right now, you know, I'm doing the live stream every day for this month. So my morning routine is get up, write in my journal. So journaling is the first. Get up, write in my journal, write my dreams down. Then I write in this journal for this live stream, and it's full of my mindfulness, mental health ideas about talking points. Get on live, then go to the gym. Then, if I have work that day, then go to work. And yeah, oh yeah, somewhere in between that I eat something, some breakfast. And my morning routine, I feel like, is very helpful to me. I have that routine every single morning. And for everything else that I do, like eating breakfast, I have a routine, or eating a meal. I make sure my hands are clean, I prepare it, I eat it, and then I clean up. That's a routine too. For certain parts of the day, I have routines. So, as much as you can possibly, daily, you want to have habits that are familiar for your body. When you have habits that are familiar for your body, you can regulate your nervous system easier, which means you can regulate your mood easier. You can stabilize your mood. Your emotions can be more predictable at certain parts of the day. Just because your body has a routine and you have things that you do every single day, this doesn't mean that your day is bland, because my days look different. I mean, I don't go to the gym every day. I don't go to the gym at the same time every day. I don't see the same people every day. I see different people every day. I mean, I I lived overseas for 7 months and had to establish a whole new routine over there because I had a whole different job and different responsibilities. But I made sure one of the first things I did was establish a routine with what time I eat in the breakfast, when I go to the gym, when I do my yoga, when I answer phone calls from friends, when I contact my family. Like, all of this was a routine. And I try to have consistency during my day so that at certain times my emotional state can be more predictable. And over time, you're training your body to stabilize itself. And you're training your mind to also be more stable, because chaos feels unstable. Chaos feels emotional. And I have two major earth placements, astrology speaking, so that could be a reason why. But I say that to say the grounding nature of having routines and stability is mentally healthy for anyone, no matter who you are. So, yeah, let's go back over these four simple ways to improve your mental health immediately. Number one, practice random acts of kindness. Be kind to people, maybe buy someone food, maybe offer to do something for somebody that you don't know today. Number two, pray. It doesn't have to be anything specific, just pray. Number 3, be mindful of your music choices. And a caveat to this is be mindful of every single thing you consume on media. Number 4, read something daily. And number 5, which is a bonus, establish a better routine. The more of a routine that you have, the better off you'll be. MC Smith 35. Hello. So sorry you might have already mentioned this, but are you still overseas or living abroad? No, I'm not overseas right now currently. I moved from China back to the US in like mid-January. So I'm not living overseas anymore. But I will say I do intend to live overseas again in the near future. So like my journey of living abroad is not finished. However, when I have more plans in place, then I'll reveal them. But I don't I don't really plan on staying in the US for a long time. I want to leave again and like continue seeing things. But yeah. So if you've enjoyed this live stream, then give it a thumbs up. And also, feel free to look at the previous live streams I have from the previous days. I have 19 full days, and this month I'm going live for 28 days, for the month of February. So tune in with me every single day until the end of this month. And also, if you have a request for another video, sorry, it's the morning, early. If you have any requests for another video you want me to make or another topic you want me to talk about, then definitely put it in the comments below in a previous video that I posted. And I would love to do or talk about a certain topic with you all. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much for the welcomes back, and blessings to you as well. Thank you so much. All right, you all, see you tomorrow, and have a great rest of your day. Peace.